Welcome everyone to our webinar. Leanne and I are looking forward to chatting with you on another valuable topic. So we look forward to also taking your questions live. And so we look forward to starting our presentation. So our webinar continues on this theme of how to grow your business successfully. There's a lot of moving parts, as you know, as a business owner, that goes into growing your business successfully. And something we have found very key in doing that is working with a trusted business advisor. So that's what our webinar is going to discuss today. Some helpful tips, similar to our last webinar. We're looking forward to your questions and answering your questions live with the time that we have. So please post your questions in the Q&A panel, and then use the chat box for any comments that you'd like to share. And that way, we'll be able to monitor the questions and make sure we answer your questions, as many as we can during our webinar. And other comments, we look forward to you sharing your thoughts with us as well. Our presentation team today, I'm happy to be joined by Leanne Ballard, who's a cloud accounting specialist with the firm that she's with. And as a chartered accountant, I have founded a firm as well. And we look forward to sharing our presentation with you today. So to start our introductions, I'll start the ball rolling. I'm a founding member of the firm that we started. We're a chartered accountant firm. We provide coaching and assisting business owners in whatever industry they're in, whether they're just starting up or they're wanting to take their business to the next level. We help business owners in a variety of industries and income levels plan and be successful in their growth plan. And this really helps you understand what we're all about. So this is our mission statement. It's our desire at our firm to help hardworking Canadian entrepreneurs and small business owners grow a successful business, have a business that's more profitable perhaps than it currently is, really so that at the end of the day, you have more time and money to spend with yourself and your family, which is likely why you started your business in the first place, to provide for your family effectively and to have more time to yourself and to spend with your family. So that's our mission statement. That's what we're all about. And that's one reason why we're providing these webinars, to help you as a business owner grow and be successful. And to help to do that, we've also provided an ebook. So if you haven't already done so, we invite you to download our ebook so that you can learn what you can do right now to help your business grow and be successful. You'll be able to see specific actions you can take in your own business to help you grow quicker and more successfully. So I'd like to introduce now the other member of our presentation team, Leanne Ballard. So would you like to share some introductory thoughts?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, David. Yes, so I am from the team at Cloud Business Services. And just to give you an idea of who we are as a team, we are 3 women who work together, and our focus is to provide high quality customer service. We take satisfaction in ensuring that our clients' books are up to date and audit proof. We want to make sure that we meet compliance, as well as we offer business consulting. And we have a very unique way of working with our clients So we look from a different perspective, and we really are trying to be forward thinking with our clients. Thank you, David.
Very good. And so just so you know, Leanne's firm and our firm, we have the same vision in wanting to help small business owners. So we saw the value of creating a strategic partnership between our two firms. We find that by working closely together, our two firms are able to provide a very beneficial solution to small business owners so that all the bases are covered. And you have the solution that meets the needs from a variety of perspectives. And so you as a client owner benefit from this strategic partnership. So as we mentioned, we have a clear mission in mind as to why we're sharing these webinars. And as we mentioned before, you know, starting a business isn't a one-day project. It's a journey. And no doubt, those who are attending a webinar today, you're at different points in your journey. And to be able to do that and to grow your business as a journey, success really depends on knowing where you want to get to, your destination, having a map, knowing how you'll get there, a clear path, and then a guide. Someone that can help you along the way, someone who's helped others be successful along the way. And so our particular webinar today is going to focus on one of these key aspects, that being the guide. So our agenda is going to revolve around three main points. We're going to talk about just how do you go through the process of selecting your trusted business advisor. Will just anyone do? What would a thoughtful approach look like? We're going to walk you through some steps you can think about. Then we're going to help you to see, when you have your trusted advisor in place, what are two ways, distinct ways, he or she can help you. So the first way is going to be helping you understand where your business is now. We'll help you to see what that means, working with a trusted business advisor. And then once you know where you are, what are some tools, techniques, and systems that can be put in place for your firm so that you can take your business to where you want it to be? So that's our agenda. We're excited to share this material with you. So let's get started. So how can you select a trusted business advisor? There's lots of choices out there, but there's something we think should really drive your decision. And it's this quote here: if you want your journey to be successful, choose the right guide. So we feel having the right guide is so pivotal to you then putting in motion decisions, plans, strategies, working with the right type of experienced guide to help take your business along this journey to where you want it to go. So when we think of businesses, typically a business owner has a few common individuals that work with them. For example, perhaps you have already an accountant who's working with you. Should he be your trusted business advisor? Along the way, perhaps you've had the need for a lawyer, his services, maybe a shareholders agreement, maybe incorporating your business, maybe helping you with other legal structures. Might he be your best option as a trusted business advisor? Then business owners often look for financing to be able to grow their business. And so they develop a relationship with a banker, the bank manager. Would he be ideal as a trusted business advisor? And then as profits start to grow in a business owner typically looks for advice as to how to invest. So might the investment advisor be that person to have as a trusted business advisor? So lots of choices. How do you decide? What can you think about? So consider these, what we feel are key questions to ask when determining who in your mind would fit this role. So for example, who can help you understand your numbers? So much of keeping a pulse on your business is knowing your numbers, knowing the key numbers, the numbers that matter. So who in your mind is a numbers expert that can assist being your trusted business advisor? You want help to understand your numbers. So who in your mind would be a numbers expert? Another factor to think about, who understands your business? Who at least yearly reviews the results of your business with you? Who's able to help you see trends in your business? Who understands the basic financial information in your particular business, your industry? We think that's an important question to ask when selecting a trusted business advisor. A third factor, who understands your goals, the destination of where you want to take your business? Who also understands your family goals? But then who also can put both of those sets of goals together? Who can connect them so that they're integrated and they are harmonious? We think that's an important factor to think about. And finally, who understands the tax effect that often is connected with every one of your important business or family financial decisions? Who understands all of the complexity involved? And who can make it easy for you to understand? We feel that when you think of these 4 questions, at the end of the day, you'll conclude that a chartered professional accountant is really ideally positioned to be that trusted business advisor for you, the one who can provide you with the assistance you need to grow your business successfully. Now, in addition to a chartered professional accountant, we think there's another member of this business advisory team that can be very key for your business. And so, Leanne, would you like to introduce who this other member is?
Yes, so on top of having, as David said, a chartered professional accountant helping you answer all of those questions, we do think that adding in a professional bookkeeper has a lot of benefits to your business advisory team. And the reasons why are, first off, they're highly skilled. And what we're talking about there is we're looking at the fine details, excuse me, making sure all of the pieces are in the books and that they are complete and compliant to CRA standards. The second piece to that is the forward-thinking aspect of a bookkeeper. The bookkeeper sees the details and can help you make those day-to-day decisions that you need in order to see your business continue to grow. So one of the things you want to look for is someone who can think outside of the box with you, someone who can brainstorm what you need to do, whether you need to cut costs or increase margins. We can look at those fine details with you. As well as the collaboration is very important there to look at those same details with your chartered accountant. And if you have someone like us and David who are working together, we can make sure that you see all aspects of that. And the third point we have here is the expertise on day-to-day operations. So overall systems, how we can help you put processes in place and manage your people. So we're looking at your business advisor from a perspective of they're not just about the numbers, they are also running a small business themselves, and they understand all of the functions of a day-to-day business and what needs to be done. So all of this adds up to, as I had mentioned, that collaborative team approach, where if you have someone who's looking at the day-to-day numbers like us, and you have someone like David who's looking at the overall numbers, then you have the full big picture.
Very good. And I really echo what Leanne has said. Working with someone who has that day-to-day hands-on information goes a long way to implement strategies that we may discuss with the business owner. Having them implemented through the advice and skill of a professional bookkeeper really can make a great difference. So now we'd like to take some questions on this first part of our webinar. What we've shared, do you have some thoughts or questions you'd like to ask us about the material we've discussed? About picking a trusted business advisor, how a chartered professional accountant and bookkeeper work together. What thoughts do you have that you'd like to share with us?
Hi, David, Leanne. So we do have a question here. The question is, how do I find the right team? And what questions can I ask my current accountant or bookkeeper?
Okay, so maybe I'll start, Leanne, and then invite your comments.
Mm-hmm.
So dealing with knowing if your current accountant is able to fill these needs. So the first question we would ask is your accountant currently providing these types of services for you? Providing what we call business advisory, working with you on a regular basis. Is he going through the numbers with you, comparing one period to the next period, helping you understand trends, helping you implement what's needed to help your business grow successfully and profitably? Do you currently have that relationship? If you don't, then we suggest that that's something you do need. So we suggest you consider whether your current accountant is able to provide those services for you. And that's something that only you can decide. And if you would like to explore another way of being serviced and being helped with a professional chartered accountant and professional bookkeeper team, you're free to welcome to reach out to us to chat. So that's the first step, is to think of your current team. Are they providing these services for you? And we're very appreciative of the fact that we've been able to form a strategic partnership with a professional bookkeeping team, with Leanne and the others that work with her. And so we found this good synergy. So you want to at least find a chartered professional accountant or professional bookkeeper that you're comfortable with, who have the skills, and then make sure they're working in a nice integrated way with the other member of this two-firm team approach, so that your business can be helped. Leanne, anything to add to that?
No, actually, you very much covered all of my thoughts on that. I just 100% agree that when you are looking for the first of the two professionals, do ask them, how they collaborate with other professionals. And really, to the points on your first slide, David, is that's not exclusive to accountant and bookkeeper. We also want to work with your lawyer, your financial advisor. All of those pieces are really, really important. So knowing how that's going to come together for you is all parts of that picture.
Very good.
Okay, and I guess that rolls into our second question. Why would you want the bookkeeper or accountant to be the trusted advisor opposed to your banker or investment advisor?
So perhaps I'll start with a banker. He typically is limited in his business interaction with you. Typically, you'll go see a banker periodically when you're looking for financing. And at that point, he'll gain a certain amount of knowledge about your business. But as long as you're continuing to make your loan payments on time and there's no need for increased financing or changes to your financing needs, typically there isn't that regular and frequent communication between a business owner and the banker. And we feel that you really do need regular systematic discussions with your trusted business advisor. The other thing we might say is, when you think of the tax implications of many of the decisions you make, typically that's not the skill set of a banker. They play a valuable role for you as a business owner. But when it comes to the tax effects, understanding your business and family goals, other factors to think about, we feel that the banker is not ideally situated to be that quarterback of your financial team. He's a valuable member, but has a different skill set. When it comes to your lawyer, we would say that as well, they have a particular skill set and often share valuable advice for you as a small business owner. And often when you're incorporating or putting a shareholders agreement together or considering other legal effects of decisions you might make, certainly the lawyer is a valuable member of your advisory group. But when it comes to the single point of contact, the individual that you want to use as a sounding board throughout the days, weeks, and months and years of your business, we suggest that a chartered professional accountant has the skills and the experience to be that financial quarterback for you and bring in other advisors as needed. Leanne, is there something you'd like to add?
Yeah, again, I just bring it all back to that collaborative approach like you spoke to there. Everybody has their unique piece. That being said, when it comes to the financials, the only person who's looking at the full picture is going to be the accountant, because they are looking at not just the bank piece, not just the investment piece, not just the business piece, but really putting it together for a whole picture.
I agree.
Okay, thank you. And that's it for the questionnaire.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your questions. Please keep them coming. That's one of the reasons we have these live webinars, is to give you the opportunity to ask questions, and we're happy to answer them to the best of our ability live during our session. So now that we've determined who ideally can be that trusted business advisor and team approach, let's now dive into what that trusted business advisor can do for you. So, key question when you're thinking of a journey and you want to get somewhere, you need to clearly know where you are currently. Isn't that true? You need to know where you are on the map now so that you can then plot a course to where you want to be. So how is it that a trusted business advisor can help you understand where your business is now? So we're going to talk about some tools and some systems that help. So fundamental is receiving full management reports. You want to be able to put your finger on the pulse of your business. And so you need to know what are those numbers that are going to help you understand how your business is doing, the financial health of your business. So to keep your finger on the pulse of the business, it's almost like having 5 fingers on a hand. There are 5 key reports that we think you should be able to put your fingers on at any point in time to know how your business is doing. So the first one is you want to know the profit for a particular period. Maybe it's a month, maybe it's a quarter, and you certainly want to know for the year. So you want to be able to see at a glance, even as you're going through that period, through that month, through that quarter, how is your business doing? Are you turning a profit? That's certainly a key factor, wouldn't you agree, in knowing how your business is doing. So that's one key report. And do you understand that report? So your business advisor can help you understand what the numbers mean in that report. Secondly, key trends in your sales and costs. You know, often a business owner will have more than one product or more than one service. These products and services are differentiated in some way depending on the particular customer's needs. And so often it's ideal to have your financial information separated or grouped by product type or service. And when you do that, you're able to see which of my products or services are the most profitable. And once you know that, you can know where to focus your efforts or how to make certain products or services more profitable. So that's a second important report, to understand your sales and costs by category. And your business advisor can make sure your financial system gives you those reports. Thirdly, how much money your customers owe you. As you know, it's not simply providing the service that's important, but getting the money in the bank from the customer after you've performed that service is valuable. So how are you doing in collecting money from your customers? Who owe you money? How long has it been outstanding? Are your customers following the credit terms you've set up? You need to know. Now, a fourth report, how much you owe suppliers. So that's the other side, isn't it? And so how can you manage the cash flows out to suppliers? What type of credit terms options are available to you? Are you maximizing the benefits that are possible? You need to know that so that you can manage the outflows of cash. And then finally, a report that puts it all together. The profit, then you need to know when the funds will be coming in, when will the funds be going out, and what does that look like for the current month, the next quarter, the next year. You want to be able to be in control and to plan and make decisions where you are adjusting to the changing economic situation. So you really do need a cash flow forecast that will help you put all those numbers together. And again, it's a challenge for a small business owner to develop all of this themselves. And so that's the value of having a trusted business advisor. In addition to that, those important full financial management reports, what's very handy is having a customized financial dashboard. You'll see in the picture here an illustration of one of these financial dashboards. At your fingertips, every time you log on to your system, whether it's on your phone, on your tablet, or on your desktop or laptop computer, you can see at a glance those key performance indicators, those key financial numbers that tell you how your business is doing. So a trusted business advisor can make sure that the numbers that you need to measure and always have your finger on are at a glance customized on like a dashboard on your device. And Leanne, what's a third key way a business advisor can help you understand where you are now?
Yes, thank you, David. The third piece to all of that is the processes themselves. So David spoke to the dollars and cents. You have to see where those gaps are in the financials. But once you know where there's a gap in the financials, how do we start to evaluate what is causing that problem? So when we analyze your systems, we're going to be looking at things like your accounts receivable collections. How does that process go? Is it on a repeat where every month there's a line of people who you're chasing for money? How do we stop that cycle? The next piece is organization and receipt management. Are you losing costs that you could be putting against your income for the business because the receipts are going missing? Maybe people aren't turning them in on your team. And then the third piece, at least the one that I'm going to mention, because I feel these are kind of that top three, is your hiring and HR procedures. Turnover costs your business a huge amount. So if you're finding that there's a lot of turnover in staff, how can we look at those procedures to get them in order and stop that money from going out the door? All right, that's what I have for now. I think we're going to take a couple of questions again.
Very good.
Okay, so
you're
first
welcome to
question.
questions.
Yep. First question here is, what is the biggest difference between a bookkeeper and an accountant? And I guess along with that is, why would you want to add both of them to our team?
Leanne, would you like to start?
Yeah, I'd be happy to take that one for you. So the way we regard the relationship between a bookkeeper and accountant is that your accountant is going to review the high level overview of your business with you. They're going to look at the totals of the business, of your personal. They're going to put everything together, and they're going to be able to advise you on the larger picture. The bookkeeper is going to make sure that all the fine details that are needed for the accountant to have accurate numbers to work with are in. We're going to look at the day-to-day small details of the business, making sure that as we're entering those numbers, we are CRA compliant and audit proof in your books. And we're going to make sure that you have the details to work with and the accountant has the overall big picture to work with. Anything to add to that, David?
I think you summed it up very nicely. And so hopefully all of you attending a webinar can see the value of having what we consider both halves of a whole, so that you get the complete picture. You get the complete solution for you, your business, and your family.
Okay, and the next question here is, I don't always understand the reports I'm reviewing, like, KPIs and such. How would an accountant or bookkeeper help me to understand those reports better?
Maybe I'll start, Leanne.
Absolutely.
So as an accountant, as Leanne mentioned, we're looking at the big picture. We're looking at what are the totals as a first analysis. And so we're looking at your balance sheet, your income statement, your cash flow forecast. Some of these numbers and titles may mean something to you, maybe not. That's okay. That's where we as a trusted business advisor come into play. So we will help you understand what your company owns, what it owes, and the net worth of the business. We'll help you understand where your money's going, where your money's coming from. We'll look at your revenue, your expenses, and then we'll plot a chart, a course into the future. What do you want to accomplish over the next few months, year, 5 years? And we'll plan a strategy. And then we will often turn to a professional bookkeeper to help us implement some of these systems changes, some of the adjustments to your chart of accounts, so that you're getting those details, as Leanne mentioned, all accumulated accurately and meaningfully, so that when we put them all together and we chat with you, chartered accountant to business owner, the big picture makes sense. So that's how I would relate the chartered accountant and professional bookkeeper and how we help. Anything to add, Leanne?
Nope, that that summed it up. Thank you, David. That was a wonderful answer.
Okay, good.
Okay. And the last question here that I have is, how do I find my break-even point?
David, do you want to take that one?
Okay, so a break-even point basically means what amount of revenue do you need to have in a given period so that it will equal your total expenses for that same period. Break even means not a profit and not a loss, but exactly where your revenue matches your expenses. And why that is needed is because a business typically has two different types of costs: fixed costs and variable costs. What we mean is there are certain fixed costs that you have every month, such as rent. Regardless of the volume of sales, you know you're going to be paying so much in rent every month. But some of your costs or expenses vary depending on the amount of revenue you have. For example, perhaps you sell a product. So for every amount of product you sell, perhaps you're going to incur shipping costs. Well, those shipping costs are going to go up or down depending on whether your product sales go up or down. So that's what we call a variable cost. And so you need to determine where is that break-even point where your fixed costs equal the revenue less variable costs. And we can have a more fulsome discussion one-on-one with you, but that's basically the concept of a break-even. Leanne, anything you wish to add?
Yeah, I just want to add to, like, when we're looking at this, the other benefit, again, to working with a professional is break even can be determined in multiple ways. It can be determined on a business as a whole, or perhaps you have a specific product or service line that you need to evaluate independently. So that's where looking at the overall numbers as well as the details are absolutely going to be useful to determine that not only is the business as a whole, you know, breaking even or hopefully even doing better, but we're talking about breaking even here, but is maybe a new service line or a new product line, is it at least breaking even as you're getting it up and running?
That's excellent, Leanne. That's exactly right.
Okay, thank you, Leanne and David, for answering those questions.
Thanks, Sandra.
Okay, great. So let's move on now to our third topic. So we've established that working with a trusted business advisor, you now know where your business is. You've been able to get a handle on your numbers. Working with your trusted business advisor and team together, you're able to really understand where you are. But now you want to grow. Now you want to be more profitable. What do you need? What does it look like to work with a trusted business advisor and their team to help you get your business to where you want it to be? So with our firm, we have an approach, and what we call it is a one-page business plan. Typically, when a business owner thinks of a business plan, they cringe. They think of a thick document of many pages, complicated, expensive, difficult to implement, and sometimes it sits on their shelf. What we're talking about is a one-page business plan. It clearly identifies, in a nutshell, who do you service? How do you service them? Who do you need to help you service them? Key factors such as these. And they're on literally one piece of paper, so that you as a business owner have clearly in mind what you want to achieve with your business and who and what are going to help you get your business there. So that's what we mean by one-page plan. And we typically have 2 or 3 one-hour sessions, and that one-page business plan is ready to go. So it's a pretty painless process. It helps you get clarity and helps you understand how you can move forward. Secondly, a 1-year sales forecast. So now that you know who you serve and how you serve them, that translates into revenue. So what type of revenue do you think is achievable? How many customers do you think you can service? What volume of products or services will that number of customers need? And what does that mean over the next 12 months? Can you project that? Can you anticipate that? What's achievable? So we help business owners come up with a 1-year sales forecast. Then the third step is we take that sales forecast and then we add the rest of the numbers. So what are the costs? What are the products that are needed? What are the expenses that have to be incurred? What staffing might be needed to be able to support those revenue lines, that revenue forecast? And then when can you expect the money come in from customers? When are you expected to pay your suppliers? When you put that together, you can forecast the money you're going to have in the bank month by month. And then you can work to achieve that forecast. So that's a third way we help business owners. And after we have these forecasts, after we have these projections, then we want to see how we're doing in meeting them. So that's why we have business review meetings. We help you take those full financial reports that we talked about earlier that show your actual results, and we compare them to these plans and forecasts that we're just developing here, and we see how you're doing. Are you exceeding some of these? That's great. Why are you exceeding your forecasts? How can we do more of that? Are there areas where you aren't achieving what you thought you would? Is there a reason we can identify? All of this goes into a business review meeting. And then finally, we put together an action plan. That's what the monthly business coaching is all about. We find out what's working well to do more of that. What isn't working as well as we would like? How can we improve it? And what goals can we set for the next 30 days? What's achievable? What's measurable? And we help you over the next 30 days accomplish that until our next business review meeting. So those are a caption, a summary of 5 of the different ways that we help business owners grow and take your business to where you want it to be. What else can be done, Leanne, to help businesses get to where they want to be?
Yes. So the other piece to that is to set up the systems and processes within your business so that you can do more of your day-to-day and not be working on some of the back end as much. Here I have a few examples. So I have your accounts receivable. You don't want to have to be chasing down money month after month. It's really important to get procedures in place. That means that your customers or clients have an expectation as to when they need to pay you the money, and automate that as much as possible. There's a lot you can do with collection of, direct deposit and everything so that your accounts receivable doesn't get out of control. With receipt management, we can put apps into place and use tools and apps to make sure that you and your team have an easy way to submit that and you don't have to go chasing after paperwork. When it comes to hiring, we can put processes into place from the interview process all the way through to training and then having an employee manual. A big piece of this is that your business advisor, when you're using a small business owner like David or our firm, they are also running their business and putting these procedures into place. And that translates into a system that can be used regardless of industry. So if it's something that we've already finessed, it is something that we can teach you how to do in your own business as well. All right. So do we have any more questions?
Just a couple here. What's the biggest difference between business review and the monthly coaching?
Okay, so maybe I'll start with that question. So business review meeting can be done annually. So that's something that we do that perhaps is a little unique in our firm compared to every other firm, is that we look at the business results with the business owner in addition to preparing the financial statements and maximizing the tax deductions and minimizing taxes for the business and the family. We will look at the business operations. We'll look at the financial statements and compare the current year to the prior year. But really, for business review meetings to be even more valuable, they should be done quarterly or monthly. And they basically review, how did you do compared to how you plan you would do? So basically, actuals compared to budgets or forecasts. That's what a business review meeting typically is. When it comes to coaching sessions, that's where we take the results of those comparisons between how you did with how you wanted to do, and we then consider action steps to do more of what's working, or we help to identify what improvements can be made so that other aspects also work well. And so we coach, or we mentor, or we work closely with the business owner over the next 30 days to help them actually put in place what we've discussed at our monthly coaching calls. We'll typically have a full call throughout that month to see how they're doing in implementing the action steps that they want to take. And so that's a little bit of the difference between a business review meeting and a monthly coaching session. Hope that helps.
Okay. And the next question, I guess, here would be, what are some first steps that business owners can take to making sure that, you know, the workflows and templates and apps kind of align with their business?
Leanne, that sounds like something for you to take on.
Yeah, I'd be happy to comment to that. So I think the first step is to align yourself with someone who understands what all the different tools and apps do. If we look at receipt capture as just one example, off the top of my head, I could list 4 different companies, and I know there's more, but just real quick, I could list 4. And they all have pros and cons, like anything. I mean, there's the good, there's the bad. So before you have to test out 4 different apps to figure out which one is the right fit for you, I would talk to your advisor and see what they have to say. They already understand your systems. And I know within our firm, part of what we do is test out and view all of the different apps as they come on board, new and old. Even when we have one that we love for, say, again, receipt capture, we will still evaluate new ones as they come on. We may never intend on using them in that moment, but what if that app happens to have that one feature that a client who comes on board with us needs? So really, that's where, sorry, my phone was ringing. That's where your business advisor, if they are already evaluating these, they will be able to match the right fit with you so that you can spend more time working on the pieces of your business that require your attention instead of testing out all of the shiny new apps that are out there.
Okay. And here's the last question. What are my financing options as a business owner?
Okay, very good question. What are your financing options? Well, there's a long list. If you're thinking of the financing options that a bank can provide, There is line of credit. There's then, and we consider that short-term borrowing. And then there's long-term borrowing. And one suggestion that we'll share with small business owners who are on our webinar with us is it's very important to match the financing with the purpose of the financing. Now, I'll give you an example. We sometimes see small business owners request a line of credit to buy a piece of equipment. We suggest there that the financing and the reason for the financing are not well matched. If you're looking to finance a piece of equipment, you really should be looking for a long-term mortgage or equipment loan that will match the life of that piece of equipment. And there are reasons for that, looking at the cash flow and the effect it has on your other financial statements. So that's something important to keep in mind when it comes to financing. Then, of course, in addition to what the bank can provide, there are other investors that you can take on. And then, of course, if you grow to a certain size, then there is public offerings that can come to the table. Sometimes family and friends are selected to provide some initial cash infusion into the business. There are pros and cons to that to think about, but those are some of the avenues and sources of financing that a small business owner has available. Leanne, anything you wish to add to that?
Yes, I want to add that, again, this is a key example to talk to your advisor. Some other thoughts that come to my mind is if it's something small, there are different companies out there that will do things such as fund your AR. So for example, if you send an invoice out to a client, they might have, 60 days to pay, but if you need that money right now, there are companies that will bridge that for you, even on a smaller level as a small business owner. Again, your business advisor knows these companies and knows that these options are out there without you having to go out and do the research. Even throughout this past year, financing more than ever has been very important to keep small businesses alive. And one of the things that our firm has done is to really educate ourselves on what government subsidies, grants, loans are available to help our small businesses survive. So it's really important to have that business advisor who is working for you and taking those extra steps. And I know David spoke to that at the beginning of the webinar. There are certain times where you have an advisor who goes that extra mile. And if where you're currently at in business, if the person you're working with isn't doing that for you and you need more, it might be time to look for someone who is able to help you and stretch and grow with you. So that's what I wanted to add.
Yeah, I appreciate you mentioning the government assistance programs. Just like Leanne has mentioned, at our firm too, we're constantly updating what are the government programs, and sometimes the same program has changing criteria as the government responds to the changing economic climate and the needs of small business owners. And many small business owners are also interested in what type of government assistance or tax deferral exists on the personal side, because they're also a husband, a father, part of a family. And so we try to bring all of these pieces together to see just what are the true financial needs of the whole economic unit, the business and family together, and provide and suggest options for you to select from.
Okay. Well, that's all the questions that we have here. So I'll let you guys take it back over.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Sandra.
You're welcome.
So we hope we've shared with you today some valuable questions and some valuable answers on how you can take your business to the next level, how you can grow a more successful, more profitable business. If you'd like to know more, there are 4 ways that you can take action right now. You can download our ebook if you haven't already done so. Start reading the practical information in it. It will help you to see what choices and decisions you can make right now within your own business to help it grow effectively. Secondly, we've recently opened up a Facebook group where you and other like-minded business owners can share questions, can share thoughts, work together. And our team will be also offering our comments and expertise to the group. And this is one way that you can leverage the knowledge and experience of a large number of business owners. And another business owner may have exactly the solution that you're looking for your business. So join our Facebook group. Third thing you can do is you can book a free discovery call. You can get the link on our website. You'll also be receiving a follow-up email with information on that. Feel free to contact us. Use us as a sounding board. Help us understand where you are, and we can suggest some next steps to help you. And finally, we're looking already to March. We know it's fast approaching, and we invite you to sign up for our next webinar. We're going to have another exciting and very practical topic that we'll want to invite you to benefit from. Leanne, are there some closing thoughts you'd like to share?
No, I think that has it covered. Just keep your eyes peeled for those details to come out.
Very good. So we'd like to thank you for joining us. And as our slide indicates, we wish you every success. You may be at different points of the journey, but we wish you continued and every success in your own personal business journey in the months and years to come. So bye for now. We look forward to seeing you soon.